You just walked through your front door after spending a few hours out with friends.
Hey,
You
Gray,
actually had a good time. There was no drama, no arguments. But the second that door clicks shut behind you, something shifts. Your body suddenly feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. You don't just feel tired, you feel hollowed out, like someone reached inside your chest and scooped out everything that was keeping you upright. All you want is a dark room, complete silence, and for absolutely no one to need anything from you for the rest of the night. If you mention this to anyone, they shrug and say, "Oh, you're just an introvert." But introversion just means you recharge alone. It doesn't explain the physical ache in your shoulders. It doesn't explain the brain fog. It doesn't explain why you can feel a stranger's bad mood from across the room before they've said a single word. What you're experiencing isn't a personality quirk. It's not weakness. It's your brain doing 10 times the processing work of an average person in every single social interaction. Welcome to the Overwired Mind. Today, we're breaking down the real neuroscience behind why socializing drains you and how to stop absorbing energy that was never yours to carry.
To understand why you feel so emptied out after being around people, we have to look at how your brain handles information differently. Psychologists call it sensory processing sensitivity, but a simpler way to understand it is this. Most people have sensory gates, filters. Their brain decides what's important and quietly mutes everything else. Yours don't work that way. When an average person sits in a coffee shop with a friend, their brain has one job: listen to the conversation. It's a clean, low-energy transaction. But your brain doesn't work like that. While your friend is talking, you're subconsciously tracking the slight shift in their tone. You're reading micro-expressions they don't even know they're making. You're noticing their breathing change. And at the same time, your peripheral awareness is picking up the barista who just dropped something, the couple 2 tables over who were clearly not okay, the hum of the air conditioning that's half a pitch too high. You're not choosing to do this. Your brain just won't stop. And then there are your mirror neurons, the cells responsible for empathy. In an overwired brain, these neurons are hyper-responsive. When your friend sighs, your nervous system quietly simulates their stress. When someone in the room is carrying silent anger, your body registers it as a threat before your conscious mind even notices. You're not just having a conversation, you're running a continuous, invisible scan, reading emotions, tracking energy, managing the room for hours at a time. No wonder you collapse when you get home. You didn't just socialize, you worked.
Here's what I want you to understand. You cannot rewire your brain to stop noticing things. And honestly, you wouldn't want to. The same sensitivity that exhausts you is also what makes you the person people trust, the one who notices when something's wrong before anyone else does. But you do need to learn how to stop absorbing what isn't yours. Here's a 3-step framework I call the emotional firewall. Step 1, the glass wall protocol. When someone starts venting or the energy in a room turns heavy, your instinct is to absorb it, to take it into your body to make them feel lighter. Instead, I want you to imagine a thick pane of soundproof glass dropping between you and them. You can still see them, you can still hear them, you can still be kind, but their emotional weight hits the glass and slides down. It does not come inside you. You are witnessing their experience, not carrying it. Step 2, the 20-minute sensory fast. The biggest mistake people like us make is leaving a draining environment and immediately filling the silence, putting on a podcast, texting someone, opening Instagram. Your brain is already past its limit. Pouring more input in is like adding water to an already overflowing glass. When you're heading home, in the car, on the train, walking, sit in complete silence for 20 minutes.
No music, no voice notes, no scrolling. Let your nervous system slowly register that the threat is over. Step 3. The somatic wash. Emotions don't just live in your mind. They get stored in your body, in your shoulders, your jaw, your chest. When you finally get home, don't just drop onto the couch. Go to the bathroom, run cold water, wash your hands and face slowly. And as you do, say quietly to yourself, I'm washing off the day. I'm coming back to myself. This isn't just ritual. The cold temperature sends a direct signal to your vagus nerve, the nerve that controls your stress response, telling your body it's finally safe to rest.
Being a deep feeler in a loud world is genuinely hard. Most people will never understand why you need 3 hours alone after a dinner that you actually enjoyed. And that's okay. You don't need them to understand it. You just need to stop fighting it yourself. You're not broken. You're not antisocial. You're not too sensitive. You're just overwired. And once you start working with that instead of against it, everything gets quieter. If this felt like something you needed to hear, subscribe. Every week I put out a new framework for people who feel everything a little too deeply. And check the community tab. Every Sunday I post a sensory care prompt for us to try together. Take care of yourself this week. I'll see you in the next one.